So travelling, especially in remote places, can be really hazardous, and for that reason we have to really keep our wits about us when we're moving from place to place. But maintaining that level of concentration is easier said than done, and it only takes one slip-up to ruin your day. Normally when I'm holding a fish, I'm absolutely focused. Okay, I'm always a bit distracted, that I've got a director, cameraman, whatever, talking to me. I wasn't paying enough attention. It wasn't very big, and I think sometimes in that situation, you let your guard down. Oh! And then I just lost it, you know, I just... some of the language wasn't very good.
That's just dug its spine right in the back of my hand.
The bleeping machine had to work overtime there. It hurt, and also it's a shock. I mean, it really did hurt.
Oh my God.
Catfish have this sort of rather sort of nasty mucus on their spines, and I think it possibly hit a nerve up against a bone. It was just very, very painful. It was a good reminder to me that you cannot even allow yourself momentary lack of concentration, because what I was actually fishing for was a stingray, and these stingrays have something like that on their tail. If it goes in the wrong place, you know, that is potentially life-threatening as well.
Nice one.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, let's use it, shall we?
Okay, I'll do it.
You got it? Yep.
There we go. Oof. There we go, that's nice. Hit that on the surface. Lovely fish. A largemouth bass. Classic ambush predator. It's waiting in all that structure and all those weeds. Something moves, bang, and it's almost like bite first, ask questions later. The Cayman report described a pale, shimmering silver body. But this bass is too dark to fit that. And there's another difference. I'm actually looking for something ultimately quite a bit bigger than this. Largemouth bass grow to only about 2 feet in length, far short of the man-sized creature I'm after. I'm trying to discover if black caimans will attack in deep water after dark.
Taking a line.
But the fish I've hooked to bait a caiman is a lot more powerful than I expected.
This is a Piraiba, but it's a small one. It's strange to talk of a fish as small when it puts a bend in the rod like that, but these grow much bigger than this. A couple of £100 and up.
It's good to see my first large predator in these waters, but I need something smaller and much more manageable for my caiman test.
But interesting to see it.
Could Piraiba be contenders for the attacks on the passengers? I know some have the potential to swallow a man whole. But these giants are at the top of the food pyramid and just aren't very numerous. This stage, I don't think they could account for the scale of the carnage. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the River Monsters page. I'm on the hunt for the river tiger, a fish that's brutally slashing the inhabitants along a remote Argentinian river. But the fish I've hooked is such a strong fighter, I'm worried that I might not get to see it.
Okay, my back is starting to ache. My back's starting to ache. Oh, I got a slight shake of the case of the trembles here. My arm. This fish isn't yet tired. What can be said for me?
It's been fighting me for half an hour, and it's showing little sign of tiring.
Just taking lines slowly. Let it run, 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 run. Every time you run like that, you're tiring yourself out.
Then something shifts.
The fish seems to be getting a little bit more agitated, which is not so much a sign of increasing strength, it's getting near to the boat. Coming up in the water, coming up. Subindo, subindo. There's bubbles coming up, there's bubbles coming up.
This is a surubi, a powerful predatory catfish. This is the biggest one I've ever caught, so I want to take a really close look at this 80-pound monster. This streamlined predator massively outsizes the palometa. It's got hundreds of tiny teeth that function like gripper pads to seize and hold fast onto prey fish, but they're not going to do any serious damage to human flesh.
I've got no qualms at all about putting my hand in there. No way am I going to lose a finger. No way is that going to take a lump of flesh out of me. So, as impressive as this fish is, it's not the one that I'm looking for. Oh, there's teeth in here. Just having a close look at those teeth.
The water turned red with blood.
Arapaima are naturally predatory, engulfing any fish that fit into that bony mouth, including piranha. They will even consume birds and other animals, sucking them down from the water surface.
And then they've got this very gruesome technique for actually finishing their prey off. They have a tongue with a piece of bone inside it, and they actually use that bony tongue to crush the small fish against the roof of the mouth, so it's not a very pleasant way to go, I'd imagine. These are pretty big fish. You know, that mouth isn't big enough to swallow a person, so any stories like that you've really got to discount. But it could still actually kill you. That is a very solid lump of bone with an enormous mass of muscle behind it. I've actually been on the receiving end of one of these things. It hit me in the chest, and no exaggeration, I could still feel that a month and a half later. It just bruised me so deeply.
It was 7 years ago, and I was helping a friend of mine, a research scientist, with his captive breeding program for Arapaima. His long-term goal is to take the pressure off the wild population, and he needed to capture his fish to pair them up with likely mates. We caught several fish already and weighed and measured them without problem, when I let my guard down. While drawing in a net with an Arapaima trapped inside, this hard-nosed giant turned from fish into missile. From nowhere, I had 100 pounds of solid bone smash into me. Weeks later, a doctor described my injury as similar to the impact of striking the steering column during a car crash. I'm not saying this is some malignant creature that will deliberately hunt and eat you. It doesn't have the mouth for it. But corner one of these beasts and it will launch a preemptive strike.
It is this event that makes me believe the Arapaima may be the killer in question. If these fishermen were hunting Arapaima or accidentally caught one in a net, this animal will violently defend itself. Just one thrash connecting with the head is all it would take to knock you unconscious, leaving you at the mercy of the Amazon's scavenging river monsters.